Hello, I'd like to vote for president, governor, and anything that will take money away from our parks and libraries.
Use machine number 3.
Fit in the booth.
Use the double wide.
Ooh, one of those electronic voting dealies.
1 vote for McCain. Thank you.
No, I want to vote for Obama.
2 votes for McCain.
Come on, it's time for a change.
3 votes for McCain.
No.
6 votes for President McCain.
Hey, I only meant one of those votes for McCain. This machine is rigged. I must tell President McCain. Ah! This doesn't happen in America. Maybe Ohio, but not in America. Ah! Ah!
Welcome to Gutter Trash. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jason.
We're gonna switch this up a little bit this week, and the movie segment's going first.
Oh, yes. That is backwards, isn't it?
I guess. There's no rules.
This is a time of change.
Yes, it is. We are recording this on election night.
That's right.
Actually, I guess technically it's the day after election night.
Oh, it's midnight.
Yes, it is. And there's a winner already.
That's right.
With no one state being blamed for the reason why there isn't a winner yet.
Yeah, thanks for casting your ballots correctly.
Yes.
I don't mean voting for the correct person, just, doing your job right.
Not fucking up.
Yeah. We don't have to recount everything.
Yeah.
Not that I would recount anything.
No.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes. And, I thought we would talk about the election a little bit, but I honestly did not think that we would actually know who won at this point in time. So
Yeah.
I was just going to mask in,
Ross Perot is the winner.
Yes.
Thanks, Ross Perot.
Golf clap.
Golf.
So McCain won.
Yeah. We're recording 3 versions of this. just in case.
One for McCain,
Hope
one
the wrong
for
one.
Obama, and one for Nader.
Yeah.
I really hope Nader wins.
As long as... I didn't really care who won as long as Sarah Palin wasn't going to ever be president.
Yeah.
So, McCain seemed alright, but I'm just glad Barack Obama won.
I liked McCain years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The past 2 years of him running has just really soured me on the guy. So,
Right.
And honestly, I don't like Obama all that much either, but he just seemed the least worst.
I kind of like him.
He's got charisma, and he's a good speaker. And the whole, experience thing doesn't bother me. I often think that
Right.
people with too much experience sometimes spoil the pudding, I just, sometimes it's good to have someone who's a little rough around the edges in a position to maybe shake some things up a little. I don't know.
Right.
But at the same time, he's a politician through and through, and
Right.
He was in Chicago, and in order to be an elected official in Chicago, you have to be corrupt. So I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah,
I was going to say, I'm sure it's hard to get to that position without, having a little oil on your fingers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'm just glad that we can celebrate that from this day forward, George W. will never be president again.
True. Well, I mean, he's still got till January.
Yeah.
So God knows what the fuck could happen from between now and then.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be a nice feeling to know he's out.
It's a little different now.
Yeah.
The puppet is the puppet head has been changed.
Yeah. At least it's not
switched hands.
At least it's not that ugly puppet head.
Right. This puppet can form a coherent sentence.
He's a very good speaker, and
Yeah.
he seems intelligent. Even if he has no, even if he has a lot less say than you would hope a president has.
Right.
at least he's gonna seem intelligent and make good decisions. I hope.
Like, someone was telling me that one of their friends didn't want to vote for Obama because Obama would take away all the guns. Right. I'm thinking Obama's not going to do jack shit.
Yeah.
There is nothing that he says that he's going to do that is actually going to happen, and there is nothing that you think he's going to do that is actually going to happen. That's
generally, unfortunately, how politics works.
Yes.
But I'm excited. I mean, it's kind of a big, it's a big thing. It's a historic election, and It was neat to see it and watch it come about.
Yeah. So now now we don't have to rely on Morgan Freeman as our only black president.
That's right.
Or the guy from 24 who's now in the Allstate commercials.
What movie was Morgan Freeman the
president? Deep Impact.
Oh, okay.
The rival to Armageddon, which is the movie that we chose. No, it wasn't, was it?
Oh, I was like, is that a porno? But I was thinking Deep in Pat. That was a different movie.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Sorry. It's terrible.
That's equally bad because we both know different people named Pat.
Hey, it could have been any one of those Pats.
Sure. Well, I won't tell you about the Pat I know, but I'll tell you off the air. Remind me.
But scared now.
Oh, you should be. You very well should be. So speaking of scary, though.
Yeah.
We watched Armageddon.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. No. God damn it! Why do I keep saying that? Because, I will never fucking watch that movie. Armageddon. Never.
I love disaster movies, but
I know you do.
I don't want to see that one.
Alright. You've notched yourself up a couple respect points.
I just watched War of the Worlds a couple nights ago.
You just notched yourself down a couple respect points.
Hey, there's a couple really cool scenes.
I don't care. Wait, was it the 1950s?
No.
Was it the TV show?
No.
Was it the...
It was the Spielberg cruise.
No. Was it the audio play just with still images flashing on the TV?
I wish I could say yes.
But no, you chose the crappy one.
Actually, my roommate chose it and I just watched it with him.
Which roommate?
Doogie.
Man. Was he drunk?
It's Doogie.
Okay.
Of course he is drunk. He's drunk right now and he's asleep.
Yeah, well, I'm drunk too, so.
I'm drinking water tonight.
I drank like half a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. I'm drinking purified water and you're drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
Wow. If we were in a rock band, we would have,
died by now?
Well, no, we would have broken up years ago.
Oh, well.
I'd have been like Paul Simon and your Slash.
I'll accept that. Yeah. They're both awesome in their own ways.
I agree, yeah. They're both keen. But the movie we did watch.
Ooh. I keep nudging my my mic here with my fat chubby arms. They're fat and chubby.
Ooh.
Yeah. But no, the movie we did watch was The Devil's Backbone by Guillermo Del Toro.
Also known as...
fuck. You're going to make me try to pronounce Spanish? Wait, it's up here somewhere. Espinazo del Diablo.
Oh.
Or El Espinazo del Diablo.
Or The Devil's Backbone.
Or The Devil's Backbone, which is what I said earlier and prefer. Because I think I said this during our Chicago special, that just because I'm Puerto Rican doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Can't speak a word of Spanish.
See, I took 2 years of Spanish in high school.
I took 4.
Did you really?
Yes.
I think I'm having deja vu, or we talked about that before.
We probably did, yeah.
Okay.
If not on air, just
on
random conversation. Right. Because we're often boating.
Yeah. That's right.
We haven't actually had the boat in a while. I'm kind of
I think
pleased with that.
I think they went to a different harbor.
Yeah, I'm guessing that
they're just in bed.
Yeah. Anyway, so The Devil's Backbone by Guillermo Del Toro, who I would have to say is probably one of my favorite directors.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've seen most of his movies, with the exception, I think, of like a couple ones he made. Probably just like independent local things. Like your friend Matt does.
Right.
whatever they do there in Mexico for that.
Not a wide release.
He was probably doing like the Werewolf of Mexico City or something like that. Yeah.
That'd be sweet. Just running around like I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm done. I don't want to say anything about werewolf movies.
Yeah. The only one of his movies other than those that I haven't seen is Mimic.
I don't think I've seen Mimic either.
And honestly, I don't have much interest in saying that. It's like a giant bug that can look like a guy.
Oh, I thought it was like a Marvel Comics movie about that villain from X-Men.
I love the Mimic.
Yeah.
I love that Mimic. I would...
doesn't he have like orange spandex?
Yeah, sometimes.
And his feet hang out.
Well, because he's got the Beast's powers.
Right.
And so he's got big feet like the Beast.
Right.
He's got...
Cyclops visor.
Angel wings.
Storm's tush.
No, because I don't think he ever hung around her.
Oh, okay.
Marvel Girl's ass, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's almost as good.
Yeah. Some sort of icy ability or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That could come in handy on a hot day.
Yeah. But
if Turbo Teen wanted to turn back into a guy.
Yeah. I love Turbo Teen.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, the Mimic, little misconstrued fact is that he's not a mutant.
Really?
Yeah.
Alien?
No, his scientific experiment gone awry.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Category 3,
Yes.
as we call it.
Yes.
In the comic book world.
Yep. I think there's 4 categories.
Cyborg.
Oh, 5 categories?
Right.
Oh, well, with Cyborg, would you almost consider that scientific experiment gone awry?
Oh, it may not have gone awry, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can just put science.
Science? Okay.
Well, no. I like the distinction between gone awry and regular.
Because then they can fight each other.
Right.
It's like man versus nature. It's cyborg versus science experiment gone awry.
Right.
That old classic motif.
Yeah. I think Charles Dickens is the one that first introduced that in literature.
Yeah. And he scared the Dickens out of everyone who read it.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. That's awful.
Yes, it was.
I need to stop.
Maybe. Should we... was this the end of the show?
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. No. But anyway, Guillermo Del Toro, we were talking about him. No interest in seeing The Mimic.
Probably not.
Let's see. I saw Kronos, which is, I guess, his first...
It's also a comic book.
It's a comic character. Oh, yeah, it was a comic, too, wasn't it?
DC, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have those.
In the 90s?
I bought the, when your store had them for, like, in the quarter bin.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything will be in the quarter bin eventually.
I love the quarter bin.
It's almost like we can almost get a sentence out without tangential. What's the word? Tangent. See, we're tangenting now.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
It's impossible.
It's cool. We don't need to tell people how awesome Guillermo Del Toro is.
Yeah,
they know.
Yeah, they know it.
Yeah, they saw Hellboy. They said, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Saw Hellboy, too. And said, that's even awesomer. And then they stopped watching Hellboy and watched The Dark Knight. Batman killed Hellboy.
Yeah. He did sort of overshadow it.
Yeah.
That movie.
Yeah.
That film overshadowed Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
Hellboy 2 was my favorite movie over the summer. And it's really disappointing that there's probably never going to be a third one just because The Dark Knight exists.
I don't know what my favorite movie over the summer was at the theater.
Yeah, that's strictly what I'm saying.
But my favorite movie that I saw this summer, ironically, was another Guillermo Del Toro movie. It's Pan's Labyrinth. I had never seen it until this summer.
I didn't make you watch it, but I suggested it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, I like The Devil's Backbone better than Pan's Labyrinth.
Really?
I mean, I love Pan's Labyrinth.
That's a tough one.
It's definitely a good one, but I really like The Devil's Backbone. This movie that we just watched.
Armageddon?
I
think I really did like Pan's Labyrinth just a bit more. But yeah, this one was really good too. I think it's my second favorite ghost story movie ever.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Of course.
But I love how it's a ghost story that's not like hitting you over the head with a ghost story.
Yeah, I think it's like modern ghost stories and modern horror movies. The ghosts are always some long-haired Japanese girl, walking sideways and shit, and like a fucking spider or something,
vomiting ice tentacles.
Right? Yeah. Well, not even that cool.
Yeah.
Because that actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Cool.
The ice tentacle ghost.
Sweet.
Of San Francisco.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, The Grudge came out, and then all of a sudden, that's ghost movies now. Or, not The Grudge, The Ring, I guess was the first one.
Ringu.
Yeah.
Ring.
Well, I mean, at least as far as the American remakes go.
Oh! I may have to change my. Actually, if you consider Ghostbusters a ghost movie, I guess this is my third favorite ghost movie. But
I guess we could consider both of those other movies ghost movies. Yeah.
But I mean that's not that's neither here nor there, because this was still an excellent movie.
Yeah. Well, it's also apples and oranges. They're ghost movies, but those two were comedies.
I like apples way better than oranges. I can.
Well, I'd say that The Devil's Backbone is an apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I prefer oranges myself, and so The Devil's Backbone is my orange. It's my orange, your apple.
Right. Okay.
Where are we going with this? There's some pizza in my fridge.
Use a PC instead of an apple. I know that.
Yeah, I'm a PC. Do you know? No.
But yeah, about the I don't know. What do you want to talk about? The actual movie?
We're talking about movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, the movie's good. Like I said, it's probably my favorite Guillermo Del Toro film. He, I guess, other than going from Hellboy to The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah, he's doing The Hobbit.
Yeah. He did have the pattern of he would do like his own independent movie, and then he would do like a big Hollywood studio movie, and then go back to his own. Right.
It's sort of like the Henry Rollins of, like Henry Rollins will pop up in some movie.
Wrong Turn 2.
Right.
Yeah, and then he'll turn around and do
a poetry book.
Right, yeah. Right. Kinda.
Yeah.
But, well, I know Del Toro likes the Hellboy stuff.
Mm-hmm. He clearly likes comics. They mention it, and he has the Monte Cristo comic in this movie.
Yeah, well, the movie takes place in... Well, here it says 1939.
Sweet cars, by the way.
Yeah.
In that movie.
It takes place in the Spanish Civil War, much like Pan's Labyrinth does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess, this, Pan's Labyrinth, and Kronos all sort of share sort of a similar theme, in which like the main characters are children. Mm-hmm. And sort of just loss of innocence, and trying to overcome in the face of extreme adversity, with a little dealing with the supernatural. Kronos is a vampire movie.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've never seen that one.
It's really good. I'll probably choose that sometime.
Force me to watch it. Sweet.
It's not as good as these, but you can definitely tell that Del Toro is a great filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And Ron Perlman's in it too.
Oh, Alex the Ron Perlman.
Who doesn't? But yeah, it's about this little boy named Carlos who gets dropped off at some sort of orphanage or...
Yeah, sort of like some sort of depot for lost kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And there's an atomic bomb.
Which is a great imagery. Just in the courtyard.
In the courtyard, just buried in the ground.
It dropped and didn't detonate.
Right. He pretty quickly discovers that there's a ghost haunting the orphanage. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's like other stuff going on. There's
like a love triangle.
There's a love triangle,
which is always good for ghost story movies.
Yeah.
When they don't just try to scare you, they try to humanize the characters.
Right. And everyone's extremely humanized in this movie. Mm-hmm. A little less so on the villain of the film.
Right.
And it's also one of those things where the ghost is not like an evil spirit or anything like
right.
that.
It's creepy though.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a great job with there's not a lot of scenes where you're supposed to jump out of your seat with fear, but it maintains this level of creepiness whenever the ghost is present.
Yeah, there's a real good atmosphere to the movie.
Definitely.
And the ghost itself is it's pretty disturbing to look at. I mean, it's not grotesque or gory or anything like that. There's not ice tentacles or whatever the hell you were saying.
There's no hole in his sternum with all of his organs spewing out.
Right. There is a hole in his head, though.
There is a hole in his head, yeah.
And the thing about the ghost is that it also appears as if even when he's just walking around, basically the boy, it's a boy, a little boy who was at the orphanage, gets struck in the head and drowned in, I guess, a well of some sort.
Right. Some sort of nasty pool of water.
Yeah, brown water, yeah.
We've all seen too much of that.
Yeah. Especially if you live in Dayton. But because I guess his body and soul sort of reside in that well or pool or whatever, whenever he is out and about, the image of him still appears to be as if he's in water.
Right.
And he's got this hole in his head where blood is flowing out of it constantly, but looking like it's
in water, right? Like it's swirling in a pool instead of floating in the air.
Yeah. He does have like this shimmering aura around him that looks like he's just
like
under the surface of water.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, visually. I mean, if you've seen any of his movies, you know he knows how to make something look cool.
Yeah,
it really does look cool.
And the ghost, you can see through its skin, and it's like very porcelain looking, very creepy, very disturbing to look at, very awesome. But basically it's about these kids, struggling, trying to figure out who this ghost is. Well, the main kid anyway, trying to figure out who the ghost is, and at the same time they sort of, get involved in this other plot that's going on with the adults in the movie.
Yeah, that's a theme too that was in Pan's Labyrinth. Like the adults don't really. I mean, they sort of know about the ghost thing in this movie, but they sort of just mention it in passing, and they have their own agenda. And
they got their whole own. Like they have a separate movie going on at the same time as we're watching this movie, and occasionally they intersect.
Yeah, it's not just a ghost story meant to scare you. It's really well thought out. And, I don't know, character piece really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't even really want to say anything else about the actual movie.
Right.
Because there's not a lot to it story-wise, but there's just enough that, it is good. It's very good.
Yeah.
I don't want to leak anything out,
Yeah, I mean, we've covered the basics. It's, ghost story, orphanage, love triangle. There is a villain in the movie, and he's trying to steal some gold that the headmistress of the orphanage has hidden away.
And it sort of gave it a Raiders of the Lost Ark vibe with those old 30s cars and the gold everywhere.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Let's see. I feel like I want to talk about Guillermo Del Toro some more.
He's cool.
He is. I love everything that I've seen from him. Just, the two Hellboy movies.
Blade 2.
Blade 2 is, in my opinion, the best Blade movie.
I can't even remember. I had a fever. I watched it one time. I was laying on my couch with a fever, and I watched it. I don't even know if I saw more than 10 minutes of it, honestly. Yeah. I was just floating in and out.
I was so excited for that movie coming out, and I didn't really even know that he was involved in that movie. I'd seen. It took me like 4 years to see the first Blade movie. Just because when it came out, it was still at that time where comic book movies automatically just equaled terrible shit.
Right.
And they still kind of do, but there's a few that have stepped up a little bit.
Like Steel.
Yes. And, let's not forget Catwoman.
I've never seen Catwoman.
Neither have I. I have seen Steel.
I have.
I have not.
Start to finish. That's right.
But anyway, I saw it on video eventually, and I liked it. It was a good action movie, a good comic book movie. Blade 3 was a gigantic piece of crap.
That's what I've heard across the board.
The only redeemable thing it has about it is Ryan Reynolds, who's pretty funny in it. And that's it.
No, I don't know who Ryan Reynolds is.
He's going to be the Flash someday.
Oh, really?
Or Deadpool, depending on what you read. Actually, he is Deadpool in the Wolverine movie coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wolverine movie.
Yes. But Blade 2, I think, the best of the three, and the only one of them to actually achieve what I think the Blade movie should have been like, which is that mix of action and horror.
Right.
Because it was pretty fucking creepy at times, especially, well, you said you've barely seen any of it, but there's like a second breed of vampires in it, and they all sort of act like insects, and they sort of swarm and do insect-like things, and it freaked me the fuck out.
I might have to see that.
It's really good. But, you know, it had just the right mix of action, you know, like superhero-y, you know, Matrix-type shit, and creepy, gory horror stuff, and humor. And it was the perfect Blade movie. And
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, more than adequate in it.
Yeah. I don't know if I can take a movie seriously with Wesley Snipes anymore. I mean, when I was like...
Passenger 57?
I never saw
Always
that.
bet on black.
Well, oh. It's a great line. But when I was like 13 or something, I thought he was like the coolest guy ever. Like, I saw New Jack City like 3 times in the theater. This is my David Heatley moment. I was so in touch with the black man because I watched New Jack City in the theater twice. And I went home and listened to De La Soul.
Hey, not Ice-T.
I never liked Ice-T. Never got into him.
He's good on Law and Order now.
I've never seen it. I don't know. Every TV show I've seen in the last 2 years, it's been... You've seen me watch it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know what Law and Order is.
I don't know if I should apologize
I thought
for
it was
forcing you to watch TV.
I thought Law and Order was a G.I. Joe figure. It comes with a dog.
I used to have that. And left it at a friend's house, and his dog ate them, ironically.
That is ironic. The only thing that would have been more ironic is if his cat would have ate the dog.
It's true. And then he went and bought me a new one. I was pissed.
It's crazy.
And we were never friends again.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. This is how I lose all my friends. By leaving toys at their house and...
their pets eat them.
Their pets eat them.
I had the same thing happen with one of my glowworms and my neighbor's parakeet. That's not true.
Thank you. Man, if Guillermo Del Toro happens to ever listen to this, I feel really bad that we completely ruined our review by just talking about such random bullshit.
Yeah, he's good. He knows how to make a movie, and everyone that hasn't seen all of his movies should do that right now.
Yeah, you really should. Well, we've successfully gone way over time.
I think we've talked about every movie except for Devil's Backbone.
I'm sorry, Guillermo Del Toro.
He's not listening.
I know he's not, but I'm putting it out in the ether that I'm incredibly sorry, and I hope that we see more Hellboy from him somewhere down the line.
That'd be sweet.
And more Spanish movies too, because so far they've all been awesome. All right,
we could just watch movies with Spanish subtitles.
That's not the same.
Just pretend like Star Wars was filmed in Spain.
Well, that's not going to make Star Wars any better.
It might.
So thank you, Jason, for talking to me.
Yeah.
And recording this with me. Because as far as I know, you're the only other person that will listen to this.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll listen to this later, too. So thank you, Eric.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, we're sad, pathetic people. And it's almost 1 a.m.
Well, hey, at least Barack Obama won the election.
That he did. And I got to get up for work in 4 hours.
Oh, I should go to bed. I should leave here.
Yeah. So, Chris, now I'm wired.
All right.
Do you just want to do the comic segment now, too?
We could just throw in Lord
I haven't read the comic yet. But,
right.
Yeah.
We could just throw in Lord of the Rings and we both fall asleep.
All right, yeah. Or Itchy the Killer.
Or Itchy the Killer. Either one. Depends on what kind of dreams you want to have. Wizards or, Japanese dudes with pierced faces.
It's got to be better than the dream I had yesterday where I was living in a Best Buy.
Oh, man, that sounds like a movie, actually.
And you think that'd be awesome, a big media junkie as I am.
Right.
But it really wasn't.
Oh, I bet that would be terrible.
Yeah. Alright, so we gotta fucking end this now.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is painful. This will be...
That's like a lot of editing ahead of me.
Oh, God, yeah. Alright. One of our rants is definitely not going to be in the show.
Yeah.
So,
or 7 of them.
Yeah, or maybe that whole election thing. There was no election, ever.
Yeah.
George W. Bush will be president, and
He's the new
king
monarch
forever. Yes. All right. Why can't I just click the button and end this?
Click it.
Click it. God damn it. You gotta stay.
Evil must perish.
Thank you.
She said you look like a guy I used to know, and she was right. She stood biting on her lip, eyes upturned, and then she said, I know we've met before. I know we've met before. Transparent in the city today. There's air to breathe, and our basic program is the same. We're the only, and I said you look too.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, welcome.
All right, so the comic we're doing this week is Too Cool to Be Forgotten by Alex Robinson. I keep wanting to say Andy Robinson.
Andy Robinson?
Yeah.
Sounds like a basketball player.
I think actually he's an artist. Andrew Robinson, Dusty Star.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He used to do all those Sandman covers after Tony Harris left.
Yeah.
When the book really started to suck.
He's got that kind of...
But his covers were awesome, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't mean to imply that Andrew Robinson sucks. He doesn't. He's pretty fucking awesome.
He kind of reminds me of somebody else's style, though. I'm trying to think who it is. Is it the Tank Girl guy, Jamie Hewlett?
Yeah, I wouldn't...
Somebody. There's somebody's style at it.
He's got a really...
Paul Popish?
I don't know. He's got a kind of a... At least most of the stuff I've seen, he's got a real kind of noodly...
Somebody reminds me of him, and I can't think of who.
He's got a little Chris Pacello in him, I think. Especially like his Dusty Star stuff. It's got a lot of Pacello.
Like stylized, but
which I
cartoony.
guess the Jamie Hewlett thing comes in pretty high because Pacello is influenced by Hewlett.
No, okay.
Or maybe I'm thinking Brendan McCarthy.
No.
I always get those two confused. I don't know why.
Brendan McCarthy and Jamie Hewlett, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. They're two completely different guys, but
both awesome.
Of course. Also, both tend to bring out the best in Peter Milligan.
Yeah, well, yeah. Rogan Josh or
Rogan
Gosh or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's Josh.
That was amazing.
I never read it actually.
It's the one book that I really want to have some sort of psychotropic substance in my system. Because the last time I read it, the only time I've ever read it, I was just completely sober, and I was like, I don't think this is right. I don't think I'm supposed to be able to understand this.
I only know of one other person who's read it, and yeah, he said he didn't enjoy it as well either. So, so maybe that is the key.
I just didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you have to either be experiencing some sort of enlightenment or be really high, one or the other, in order to get it.
I guess I'll never get it then either, because I don't do either of those things.
Oh, that's too bad.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
I've made inquiries into the psycho, whatever word you said, that I feel really foolish for not remembering that word right now. Psychotropic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Jesus.
I probably mispronounced it.
Well, we're letting our ignorance flag fly.
Yeah.
But no, yes, I've made inquiries into that area once or twice in the past and never came up with anything. So at this point, I've just given up. Like most things in life, I've just given up.
Just go to some rock concert. Just hang up by the restroom for half an hour. You can buy anything you want.
Yeah, that means I'd have to go to a rock concert, though.
Yeah, that's true.
See, there's negatives to everything. Alex Robinson, not Andrew Robinson.
Yeah, Alex Robinson
wrote this book.
And drew it.
Yeah. I guess he's more famous for Box Office Poison.
Yeah, I think that's his biggest. Well, I mean, it's literally his biggest work, but I think that's his most popular one.
I think that's definitely one of the first books I've ever seen that wasn't by Dave Sim or
Craig Thompson.
That was like the size of a concrete block.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was also Alan Moore as well.
Yeah. Maybe Charles Burns.
Yeah. But, Box Office Poison, the first time I saw that collection on a shelf somewhere, I was just like, holy Christ.
Yeah.
And now, I've got the complete bone sitting out in my living room.
That's like 3 times as big as a box office was. Well,
that book actually hurts to read.
Bone?
Yeah.
It hurts your lap or your hands?
Both.
Yeah.
My wrist. I hold it on my lap, and my arm gets tired and shaky. And
Man. Yeah, my arm gets shaky every time I hold my bone, too.
Whoa,
what? That's awful. You're a fan?
I'm a fan.
Right.
I'm good for the potty humor.
Potty humor.
Yes.
Rules. Yeah, the first time I ever heard of Alex Robinson, I was on a road trip with a couple of my friends, and we left my friend's apartment, who was driving, and he was like, "Hey, you want something to read?" Because it was like an 8-hour road trip. We were going to Canada, and and I was like, "Sure." And he said, "Here, read this. It's really good." And it was Box Office Poison, and I'd never heard of the guy, Alex Robinson, nor the book. And I was like, man, that looks pretty, I'm diving right into something huge. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
But by the time we got to Canada, I'd read the whole thing. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that book.
I've also never read it. I've not read any of his works up until now.
Yeah.
I'd say today.
Up until today.
Up until today. I had a busy week, so I wasn't able to get to reading the book as fast as I could. And you disappeared for like a week and a half, so it gave me plenty of time to procrastinate on that.
I went on a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
More on that later.
So, yet another black and white, small press, depressing fucking comic.
Yeah, them's my favorites.
This book, oh man. I guess the plot of the book, too cool to be forgotten, just in case I didn't mention it earlier. I think I did, but I'm not sure. It's got a really cool cover. Literally.
It looks like cigarettes.
Yeah, like a pack of cool cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it even has like a weird filter over it that makes it look like it's still wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got like the logo and everything, and it says "Too cool to be forgotten."
Oh, I didn't think about that. That would have been neat if they would have put the cellophane on with like the little tear strip.
Oh wow,
that would have been great.
Yeah, but
oh well.
That just leaves me to bitch about actual hardcover comics that do that, and it pisses me off.
Oh, I have a cellophane around?
Yeah, I hate those. Because
they don't want you to rip the dust jacket.
Yeah, but fuck that. I want to look at the book. Yeah. I want to see if I want to buy the fucker thing.
Well, I know the dust jacket originally was just supposed to keep dust off the book, not be some collectible thing.
Right, yeah.
You know? Like, all my dust jackets have ripped up corners, and I couldn't care less because that's what they're for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I keep them on my books, but that's when I'm not reading them. When I'm reading them, I'm the first thing to go, because they're a pain in the ass to deal with.
Right. Yeah, this one's a nice hardcover without a dust jacket.
Yes, it was. Basically, the plot is the main character, Andy Wild. Wicks. Andy Wick.
Wicks.
Wicks or Wick?
I think it's Wicks.
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
But that's also why I keep getting the
Andy Roberts.
Yeah.
Robinson.
But he's trying to quit smoking. And his wife makes him go to a hypnotherapist. And he's pretty cynical about the whole situation. He doesn't think it'll help.
As most rational people should be.
Right. And the first time we see him, he's having his last cigarette. And he goes into the hypnotherapist, and she puts him under, and he wakes up in 1985.
Yeah. Which is, 30 years before?
25 years. Yeah, because the book takes place in 2010.
Okay.
Well, his modern-day self. I just did air quotes for all the people on the internet.
Modern day.
Yeah. His modern day self is in 2010, and he gets transported back to 1985 via hypnosis. And when we first see him there, he's still, he's middle-aged, so he's balding. He's just got that sort of, that crown of hair, I guess you would call it.
Right. And he's dressed like a teenager, so he looks like he's just some guy trying to be cool.
Creepy old.
Yeah.
And, he realizes, he puts together pretty quickly that he's in high school.
Yeah.
And he has absolutely no idea why he's there.
But he like pretty, like you said,
he puts it together pretty quickly.
He's like, I'm hypnotized. I'm in high school. I'm remembering that. Yeah. So it's not like he doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
It's like he's the only one that knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Other than the reader.
And when he runs to the bathroom, and when he looks in the mirror, he sees himself as a 15-year-old. Mm. And from that point on, that's the way he looks throughout most of the rest of the story.
Right.
So, we only see him as creepy old guy in teenage clothing, for a few pages. He makes an appearance again in his teenage form as an old guy later on, but
I think it's more like whenever those happen, there's one or two times, it seems like it's him realizing, that he is this older guy, and he's like,
right.
It's like his subconscious visualizing himself as the older guy in this situation, which is hard for him to handle.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple situations where it was a little creepy.
Yeah.
He was an older guy. You didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it, because there's nothing bad about it.
Uh-huh.
I have problems with it.
Right.
But it's... I hate to be that guy, but there's, continuity errors. I have geek problems with it.
Okay, well, yeah, I didn't catch
and it's not so much... Yeah, it's not that. It's so hard to explain. I'm just gonna fucking ruin the book for everyone.
Spoiler?
At the end of the book, he's there to stop smoking. He realizes that he's about to relive the part where he has his first cigarette ever.
Mm-hmm.
So his thought is that if he can prevent himself from doing that, then he'll stop smoking. Ta-da! Well, he does that, but it doesn't transport him back to modern day.
Mm-hmm.
And then he realizes slowly that he's stuck in the past still, because he still has unresolved issues with his father, who died that same summer.
Right.
And so he has a big confrontation with his dad, who was dying of Lou Gehrig's disease.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty heart-wrenching couple last pages there before the book ends. My problem with it comes from... He gets transported back to the past. Let's work under the assumption that he physically, or at least mentally, does get transported back into the past.
Uh-huh.
And when he starts putting together the situation that he's in, the first thing he doesn't think of is his dad is fucking dying.
Right. Well, maybe he's that selfish, and maybe that's what the story's about, is he's so focused on himself.
They kind of mention that in the book, especially at the end when he does finally go in to talk to his dad. But I just don't buy it. It doesn't ring true.
Well, I don't know. Most people that smoke cigarettes are kind of selfish pricks, so maybe that's way
to just generalize and sideswipe.
Oh, no one heard it.
Everyone we know.
If anyone that smokes was listening to this, they're already outside taking a cigarette break right now. Anyway. It's been more than 4 minutes into the show.
That is true. No, come on.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I just I could sort of see it though, because basically, and especially if he thinks he's just mentally in the past, because if he was physically in the past, there's probably all kinds of things. He's like, whoa, I've got to prevent this, and I've got to go bet on the horses and pick up some.
Well, he even talks about doing that though. Well, he mentions things like that in the course of the story, he starts thinking about what happens if he stays stuck there.
Right.
And he starts thinking about, I could go join Nirvana or something.
Yeah. Go buy 1,000 copies of Watchmen #1.
Right, yeah. He's thinking about that kind of stuff. But never once. And it's like the first half of the story, we're dealing with this sort of situational comedy of this old guy being transported back to teenage self
Right.
I mean, it's like a Jeff Loeb movie come to life, you know?
Or like it's like Quantum Leap. I love those like movies and shows where, you know, you as the viewer or audience and one character know the whole story and nobody else does.
Right.
Like, you know, like Quantum Leap or Big or What Women Want or something.
Right.
I mean, maybe not What Women Want. That one wasn't that great.
I never saw it.
But I love those kinds of situations where it's like, you know, one... almost like Ferris Bueller and Parker Lewis, where they like talk to the audience.
Right.
Where there's, you know, just one character that knows everything you know, and everybody else just kind of. I like those. I don't know if there's a word for that sort of like genre, but
I don't know either. And I generally do like those.
Mm-hmm.
This just didn't pull it off.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I don't know. I mean, maybe you could chalk it up to just him being a selfish prick. But there's a scene where it's like when he sort of realizes that, you know, he is stuck in his teenage body and he's horny.
Right.
And he starts going through all his porno mags that he kept in his room.
Some old penthouse.
Yeah, and decides to just crank one out.
Yeah.
Like on his way back to his room from the bathroom, he stops by and looks at a bunch of photos, and he starts crying because he sees his dog, who's dead, and starts, you know, freaking out about that. And his sister kind of comes in, and you know, and she gives him a hug and tells him that it's going to be okay. At that fucking point in time, he's staring at a goddamn picture of his dad. His sister is coming in and consoling him.
Right.
They're mentioning already the fact that, you know, well, his dad's asleep, you have to be quiet. You fucking know your dad's dying!
Maybe that was such a big part of his childhood, too, that it's just accepted, like, oh, and that's what happened was my dad died. You know, maybe it wasn't, like, something he was even thinking about as a possibility, but he could change, just, like, you know, it's such a it was such a monumental thing, probably, that, you know, maybe...
Well, I don't even think... I'm not even looking at it as he thinks he could change anything about it. I'm just thinking, you know...
Well, I don't mean that he could prevent him from dying, but change, like, their... relationship, right.
Right. Which he does. And, you know, at the end of the book, he talks to his dad. And but it's like... It could have been built up better than it was. I mean, there's like one or two casual mentions of, you know, we know you're going through a hard time at home.
Right.
You know, but that also only starts coming in like at a midway point through the book.
Yeah. And you don't even really know what they're talking about at
right.
first.
And it bothered me that, you know, and again, maybe it just comes down to he was a selfish prick and he's just unlikable. But but he's not unlikable.
Yeah. Well, maybe that might be what Alex Robinson was trying to say, though. You know, like maybe he was trying to develop that as like, you know, it was about this guy's growing experience, and you know, maybe that's what triggered smoking in him was, you know, dealing with this unresolved issue. You know,
right?
Like it was just a way for him to escape, or I don't know,
right?
Harm himself, even. Who knows? You know.
Well, I'm going to get a little personal here.
Because
I think you and I both have some father issues.
All right.
Mine definitely not as bad as yours, but, you know, my dad and I don't get along.
All right.
And we hardly ever talk. So it's always awkward when I'm around. Mm-hmm. And I know that you lost your father at a very young age.
Right. Yeah, he died when I was like 9.
Right. So I'm thinking if 31-year-old Jason is suddenly transported back to like 9-year-old Jason... Isn't the first thing you're going to remember the fact that, you know, well, that's the year your father passed away?
That or like...
Or it's going to be like a major part of how you operate in that world.
Right. It'd be that or like, you know, I can finally buy Snake Mountain this Christmas. One of those two.
That's fine.
No, yeah. Yeah, I think that would be the first thing I would think of.
Yeah. And it's...
But I'm not a selfish prick like
well,
Andy Wiggs.
This is true. This is very true. Probably actually one of the most unselfish people I know.
Oh. Come on. Look, I'm all bashful and ready.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a blowjob later to finish it off. So. But no, because, I mean, everything leading up to the revelation that his father is dying and that, you know, he has the confrontation with him. Andy is a likable character.
Right.
And everything that happens to him, even though we're supposedly like 10 years younger than he is, you know, in the modern day, everything that he talks about is relatable. Because while we weren't exactly, you know, the age in 1985 to appreciate the stuff that he's talking about, we know of that stuff.
Right, right.
And we can look back at it now, and we can relate to a lot of what old Andy has to say. Mm-hmm. And he's a nerd. We're nerds. You know.
I think we're more geeks, but yeah, nerd's fine.
Well, I'd say he's a geek. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. If you want to get picky about it, Jesus.
Please classify my social awkwardness correctly.
But I mean, he's a relatable character to any random fuck that's going to pick up this book.
Yeah.
And then, but for him to just be that thoughtless, it just doesn't ring true.
I hadn't really thought about that before because I was so caught up in this. Wow, cool! He's back in time. How cool is that?
Right.
And yeah, you're right. It does seem like he would have made that a bigger issue earlier.
Right.
Like, wow, this is but then again, maybe he really thought he was just having some fever dream for a while, and he's like, well, I gotta figure out why to stop smoking. And
I get that too. I mean, it's the same sort of trope that's in every time travel movie that you've ever seen. I mean, it's like, oh, I'm disoriented. I'm in the past. What's going on? I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's a certain factor of that, and there's the comedy factor, and it's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. There's some really humorous parts in it, and like the scene at the party. He's there's a lot of good characterization going on between him and his friends, especially the one like super nerd, yeah.
And at the party too, like the whole reason is at this party, he's like, well, shit, if I'm back here, I'm gonna ask out this girl Marie that I always wanted to ask out.
Right.
I mean, we all had some cute girl that we rode the bus with or whatever, where we were like, man, I wish I would have just asked that girl out, but
right. But
and so he does it,
and he does it,
and that's another part of the story that I think is so fun. It's kind of like it's like Groundhog Day, the movie or something, where you have another chance to see how you could have played this thing out, and
right.
Like how Bill Murray just does whatever in the movie and tries different things and that he normally wouldn't try, and the same thing with this character. It's kind of interesting to think of what you would have done differently, and not to necessarily change life for the better, but just to be like, well, I wonder how that would have played out.
And I agree completely. And like when you so blatantly pointed out that I didn't like the book, it's not. I didn't dislike the book.
Right.
All the pieces of it are fine. In fact, I would actually really recommend this book to anyone.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. I just don't like
that one
the whole package
right.
of it together. It's that one piece that's missing that doesn't make it a cohesive thing.
I can sort of see what you're saying. I mean, but then again, obviously I didn't pick up on that, so maybe it didn't ruin it for me. I mean, it didn't. Right. Not that it ruined it for you, but you know what I'm saying. It didn't. It didn't affect my enjoyment of the book. But
well, I mean, I got all the emotional responses out of it that I was supposed to. Because I found it pretty humorous and fun, for that first, bulk of the book. And then when it gets to that last couple pages, I mean, it was fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. We're crybabies.
We are.
We cry at everything we read.
Yeah.
I know, I read the Swamp Thing annual the other day. Man, tore me up. Actually, I read an issue of DC's Who's Who where they describe the Batcave in detail. I broke down.
Well, that would make me
I was in the tub for 6 hours thinking about Alfred's pleated pants. And the giant penny. Oh, don't even get me started on the giant penny. I can't go on.
All right, good.
No, I know what you mean. It was sad and funny, and that's a great description of a book, because he didn't just take itself too seriously. I mean, there's actually really funny parts in the book.
Yeah.
But it is overall a dramatic story about dealing with loss and the mistakes you've made when you're younger.
Yeah. And like I said, the pieces of it are fine. It's just getting from point A to point B. It just didn't work for me.
I don't think it's his best book. I haven't read everything he's done, but I've read like three or four other things he's done. And it's not my favorite book of his, but I think he's a really talented storyteller, and this one sort of clinched it. When I first read Box Office Poison, I was like, wow, this guy loves Dave Sim, I think. And after I read this, I was like, yeah, this guy loves Dave Sim. I mean, like, some of the ways he draws certain panels, and definitely the way he does lettering on, not just the regular dialogue boxes, but anything like
the titles.
Titles, or if somebody's belching or shouting or something. I mean, he's got a really good Dave Sim influence back when Dave Sim's comics were really fun to read. I mean,
when he was sane.
When he was sane, no, I still read everything Dave Sim does, but like older, like Church and State era Cerebus. I mean, when it was really good. This book kind of reminds me of that sort of atmosphere, like kind of fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it still has something to say.
Dramatic, right? Well, after reading this, I would definitely be interested in reading Box Office Poison, at least. Yeah. It's something that's always been sort of in my peripheral anyway. Like, I've always just had like an interest in wanting to read it. I just never have gone out of my way to do so. It's
one of those fun comics that's sort of about comics too.
Yeah.
Like, it sort of has a lot to do with the industry, and but it's all fictional too. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I think other than what I find to be a major flaw in the story, I would really recommend the book. I think it's a really good read. It's a really quick read.
Yeah, it is. One other thing I really like about this book, and this will sound like I'm just tacking this on for like extra points or something, I love the size of this book. Like, I mean, it's about 100 pages, but I mean the literal dimensions of the book. It's almost
a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
No. It's a little bigger.
It's like smaller than a comic, but it's not like it's not as short as a manga or something. I don't know.
Right.
I love the size of that book. It's like perfect to take somewhere, and it's not. I don't know. Never mind. I don't know why. I really
understand. I understand.
I really do like the size of it.
It's travel size.
It's travel size comic.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine going like, I'm gonna walk over to the park and read The Complete Bone?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
That or my Absolute Sandman.
Yeah. Can you imagine walking down the road with that? Some guy in a Chevy with a KC lights is going to throw tomatoes at you.
Going to Waffle House. What you reading?
Yeah.
Kramer's Ergot.
Oh, man.
Acme Novelty Library.
Yeah. Can you imagine reading like one of those giant, like 4.5 foot tall Chris Ware hardcovers at a Waffle House? That would be kind of funny, actually.
Well, you can run with that experiment if you want.
So I mean, I guess I should put my official statement. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, but not his best work. And I agree with what you said. I hadn't thought about that, and it's a good point. Very good point.
Well, I didn't dislike it as you want to believe, but I did find, like I said, some major flaws in the story's logic and tone, I guess. That I think if it had been built up better, it would have paid off more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still a big payoff, but it just wasn't enough, and it just leaves the ending kind of cold and abrupt, I think.
Mm.
But otherwise, to everyone else, I still really would recommend it. I think it's a good story.
Yeah,
It's definitely a good starter, I guess. If you want to get into box office poison, I guess it'd be a good thing to
just to kind of see if you like his style.
Yeah,
yeah, because it's like a fourth of the size.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody else. Like, I think we've sold one other copy at my work, but I don't know anybody else that's read it yet. So I haven't heard anyone's opinion. So I'd be curious to see if anybody's
digging it
or hating it or whatever.
Right. I don't think anyone will hate it. I definitely didn't hate it. Not like I hated that other book that we reviewed that one time.
Oh yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, seems like there was a book that we disagreed on.
Oh yeah,
but it was so David Healy.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that the next one of us hates, one of us loves, just so we can because the couple that we were both like, man, this is awesome. Yeah, I just felt like we were doing a commercial for that book.
Well, we kind of are, but
that's fine. If it's a good book, but. It's kind of more interesting when one of us hates it.
True, very true. I didn't hate this, and we still got a pretty good conversation out of it. I think. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're gonna take a break then, I guess, and we'll be back in a minute.
Monkey play in the jungle, robot work in the factory. They will have a giant rumble. Monkey versus robot. Monkey versus robot. Monkey hate technology. Robot hate the monkey. They will fight eternally. Monkey versus robot. Monkey versus robot.
Okay, next episode on gutter trash.
What?
I don't know.
That was weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I didn't expect that.
I can only apologize so much.
But yeah, you're right though. that is what this part is.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
You go first.
Okay. All right. Well, it's my turn to pick a movie.
Yep.
We're gonna watch a movie. It's called Black Sheep.
Black Sheep.
And it's not the Chris Farley movie.
Is it a horror movie?
Sorta.
I gotta look this up.
One of my coworkers.
Are you sure it's not the?
I'm positive it's not the Chris Farley movie.
Because I'd rather see that probably. No.
One of my coworkers told me about it. He saw it a couple weeks ago, and I
think I've heard of it, but
I went and watched the trailer for it, and it looks pretty good. It's a New Zealand. Release
about turning sheep into killer sheep.
Killer sheep. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm pretty sure I may even already have this on my Netflix.
Oh yeah. Great. Well, I figured the last time I picked like a, kind of an artsy movie, like
right.
low budget, personal drama. So I was like, well, this time I should pick. Nice. It's in your queue. I tried to do a 180 from my last choice.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Let me just move it up to the top of my list here.
Awesome.
If I can find it.
So how did you hear about it?
Because I'm a nerd and I used to read...
You're a geek, we established that.
Sorry, Jesus Christ, fuck you. Because I'm a geek, and I used to read Fangoria and Rue Morgue, there it is, every month. So, I know about all those crazy horror movies.
Yeah.
And, that's even a very different thing than my last pick, well, I guess this week's.
Oh, yeah.
Devil's Backbone, which is a horror movie, just a high-end horror movie. This one looks to be a pretty cheesy comedy horror.
Campy and fun. Who knows? We'll drink a few beers and watch some sheep eat people.
Oh, hell yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
I'm excited. Alright, we got that settled. That was easy.
Yeah.
That was definitely easy.
I was surprised they had it. I'd never heard of it.
It was pretty low on my list, though.
Thanks, Netflix.
Yeah, no, okay.
I didn't want to have to give $3 to Family Video.
Instead, it's just me giving $15 to Netflix.
Oh.
Well, that's not true. My friend and I used to have this conversation all the time where he'd see a movie, and I'd ask him if it was any good, and his response for some movies would be, if you ever found it in a parking lot, watch it. Yeah. But, like, don't go out of your way. Netflix is my parking lot.
Yeah. It's
because I pay, like, my $15 a month, and everything that I want for that $15, like, as quick as I can turn around a movie, you know, it's awesome. It's my parking lot.
You think you watch more than 15 movies a month?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I usually, about 3-4 a week.
Okay.
That's how much I try to turn them around anyway.
Well, yeah, that's about 15.
Yeah.
$1 a movie, that ain't bad. Ain't bad.
Ain't bad at all. Plus, there's like some you can watch right on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sweet. Hang on. All right.
That was off the charts, volume-wise.
Sweet. And that was the signal for our comic pick.
Yeah. When you hear that noise, children, just put away your crayons and pay attention.
All right. This next one actually might involve a little discussion between us.
Oh, sweet.
Because I know what I want. But I'm afraid that you might protest that it may be too much to read.
Oh, no, I'll read it. Whatever it is. Unless it's bone.
It's not bone.
Complete bone.
No. No. It is all 4 volumes of Absolute Sandman. No. I figured I've had enough of this shitty, black and white, independent, small press, depressing bullshit.
Right, okay.
It's time to go in the complete opposite direction.
Sweet.
All-Star Superman.
Oh, nice.
1 through 12.
Oh, yeah.
You in?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
That's so in. That's 2 years worth of Superman.
Technically. Actually, I think it's more like 2.5, 3.
Wow. Well, I've been meaning to read those on one setting.
Same here. I figured this would be a good opportunity. I had backup options in case you didn't go for that, so.
I'm going to have to find some weed. If I'm gonna reread that, I want to be high. I haven't smoked weed in a long time, so I think I'm gonna.
Well, why choose that?
It's Grant Morrison.
So? Oh. You're just giving in to the stereotype that Grant Morrison books can only be read and understood when you're fucked up.
No. I read every issue of Invisibles while I was high, so, and I really enjoyed that.
Well, The Invisibles is completely different.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I'll read these sober.
At least once.
At least
and
once.
Then you're high.
Yeah.
We'll do the show high.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Right.
I don't smoke weed anymore.
I never have.
Stay in school, drink your milk, kids. Don't smoke the ganja.
The ganja. Yeah. I was going to say the Mary Jane, but that works too.
Sinsemilla. I don't know.
All right. Wow, I think this is going to be the shortest wrap-up ever. Huh? All right, then. Jesus Christ, this went on way longer, and probably 90% of this is going to get cut. So,
yeah, well.
I hope you enjoyed yourself. We're out of here.
Gutter Trash can be downloaded at www.guttertrash.net, iTunes, Podcast Alley, and Feedburner. You can also find us at myspace.com/guttertrash_net, seanborn.net, blog.seanborn.net, and buyerbewarecomics.blogspot.com. Contact us at show@guttertrash.net, eric@guttertrash.net, or jason@guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. We'll see you next time.